guys, welcome back to my channel. It's G from Happiness and Crafting. So I thought I would make some lovely resin beads today. Now I'm making these and we're not using a mold, we're just using some wire to make these beautiful beads. Now I've already put my gloves on because I think you can probably see the beads better on the black. Can you see? They are just beautiful. Now I'm using all sorts of colours in these as well. Beautiful. I'm loving them. This one's got a little butterfly in it. Not quite sure whether you can see that, but they are gorgeous. This one has got little beads in. This has got some little pearls in there, which is gorgeous. This one has some fabric in it, so you can just put whatever you like in them, but I thought I would just show you. It's really simple, a nice quick simple way to make some beads. This one I've actually added a bead to it as well, and this funky one, look at this one, let me just put those back. This is a funny shaped one, but it's got little flowers in it. I put some little resin flowers in there as well, but they are just so gorgeous. Now the reason I was making these because I wanted some tiny little beads. This is a little purple one, hopefully you can see that, and I wanted some sort of like small beads, but they are just beautiful, and each one is different. So these you probably see them a little bit better on here actually. They are just beautiful, so super easy to do. I'm using UV resin, and I'm also using the coloured UV resin as the centre of the bead. I'm not using any mould or anything. I've got my double lamp, so I'm just using one side and then I'm closing it this way so that they will light up and cure in the middle. But first of all, I'm using sort of like this side and I'm putting it to the side. I'll go in a bit in a minute when I start doing it. This one is sort of like a little flat one, which I've actually done in the middle of this one, so then I can make a little loop at either end and it can be like a little bead like that. Can you see there? You can see that the colour's in the middle and it's clear on the outside, and then I've just put tiny little bit of glitter on it. They are just beautiful. They look like glass, and I wanted these obviously to put on my journals because I like dingly danglies. Now I'm going to leave those there as I work. I'm going to pop these to the side so I've got a little bit more space, because they need to be in the light, under the UV light for quite a while, just to make sure that they are cured. Oops, I've got always a little green one, little random green one there, so I'm going to pop that like that. Now what I'm using as the main bit are these little flathead little pins like this. These ones are a little bit bent because they're all a bit squashed up in here, but any bit of wire you can use. These little flathead pins for jewellery making, so I've got a few here. I'm going to be using the bigger ones because they are easier for you to see. Okay, so these are the bigger ones, and they're for me to hold on to it, to you know, add the resin and stuff. So the first thing I'm going to do is get my little pot. This has already had resin in it. I had some glitter in there, so what I've done, I've just hardened it under the lamp so I can keep using it. And I'm going to take my UV resin and I'm going to put more in there. Now if you've got one of those tubs of dip UV resin, which I don't have, you can just dip it in and out of there. But I want to put it in here, a separate one, so I don't get glitter and bits and pieces in my resin. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a bead, I'm going to pop it onto the end of here, and this is where you need the flat end one so it catches your bead at the end. Now you can put any colour bead on there, you don't necessarily have to have a pink one or anything, because I'm going to cover it up with some of the UV resin like this. So I'm going to move this over, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do it further away first so you can just see what I'm doing. I'm going to dip the whole thing into the resin like that. Make sure you just dab off the little bits of resin on there. Okay, so it doesn't drip. Turn on your light and just pop it under the light for a minute, just like that, just so that sort of like keeps the bead in place. Okay, so So that's in place like that. And then I'm going to put that upside down and pop it in there for a second. So that is curing in there. I'm going to take my little silicone, and it's easier for me to use the bottom. And I'm going to take, what should we have? I'm going to do a blue one because I don't have too many blue ones. I'm going to pop a little bit of blue. This is the Let's Resin one, and it's the blue. We've got light blue. We've got all sorts of beautiful colours in there. Now I'm going to keep this on, and I'm going to dip that in there. So like I said, it doesn't matter what colour bead you've got, because we're going to cover it up like that. And then just twist it and hold it under the light. Not under, or I put mine sideways like this so you can see what I'm actually doing. And it blocks this side so I can have my UV resin in. It's not going to set. So we're just going to go round. Now you can do a couple of these at a time and keep going back because they need to be under the light for a little while. So I'm going to just do that. So as you can see, it's covered the bead. So I'm just going to do that again. Just roll it in that. Roll it round in your fingers and then just pop that under the lamp like that. Okay, I'm going to go closer in a minute, but I just want you to see this little bit. So then I'm going to just take my pliers and I'm going to just, stick that in there like that under the lamp. Let's turn it back on again, like so. And then when I've done lots, I can just put this together and it clamps together. You've got, you know, the light all the way around. But I don't need that side yet because I don't want it reflecting too much on my work this side. So I'm going to do another one, but I think we'll go in for purple. I haven't done purple. I've been doing the pinks because I'm obviously doing these are going to be some shabby bits because I don't like doing shabby little bits and pieces. So I'm going to dip this. I'm not putting a bead on this one. I'm going to just dip this straight in. So if you didn't have any beads, you can just dip that straight in, and it means that your little bead eventually will be a little bit smaller. So just pop that under the light, twiddle it around, just so you sort of like keep it on the end. Like that. So any UV light that you've got, this is the lovely double one that I'm using from Let's Resin. But I'm just going to twiddle that round, and you can see it's just got a nice little bit on the end. So I'm going to do that again, twiddle that round, and that means I do have the molds for the beads, but I find them very, very tedious and quite difficult trying to fill them up. And I just wanted something, you know, that I know what they're going to look like, if you know what I mean, because when you do it in the little molds of the beads, you're not quite sure what they're going to look like. I do like using them, but you know, this is lovely because I want them to have the colour in the middle and then the clear around the outside. So I'm just going to pop that in there like that. And I'm going to do another one. So as they're setting, you can just keep going. So again, I'm just going to dip into the pink, twiddle it round. So you can just keep doing these and just have a little production line if you wanted to. And pop that on. Just so that they, you know, that sets. You need it to set, to cure really well. Can you see some of these are beautiful? That's got gold glitter in. Hopefully you can see that. I'll do a lovely close-up at the end of these as well. So right, I'm going to put that to the side. I'm going to take my clear. I'm going to take my blue one, and I'm going to dip that into the clear resin. Now, you want to let that drip off once or twice. Do you know what I mean? Don't let big dribbles on there or droplets on there, because you know you'll get a very bumpy little bead. So just twist that. It's better to have lots of little thin layers, and then they will dry a lot easier and cure a lot better than having a big thick layer that's going to take ages to dry and might go a bit funny shaped. Not that funny shaped beads are awful, because they're quite nice, aren't they? Depends what you're after. They're all individual then, so each one is a unique, lovely little bead. So I'm going to just pop that in there. And I probably do, depending on the size of your bead, I will probably do about, 5 or 6 thin layers on here. Maybe more. If you wanted a nice big bead, I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm going to make, with one of these little ones, I'm going to make a big bead. But they are fab. I absolutely love it. So I've been having lots of fun today. Look at all these lovely beads. I think I've done this before. Well, I have made these before, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't find the video. So I'm not sure whether I actually videoed it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in a little bit closer now, just so you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to put this here like that. Got my resin. So I'm going to take my resin and I'm going to just dip that in like that. I'm not worried about the bubbles actually, because it adds a little bit to your work. So you want to just let that drip off just once or twice. Or if you've got a lot on there, just get rid of some of the extra resin. Twist it around like that, and then just pop it under your lamp. Remove those over and twiddle it around. Can you see? Like that. Just twiddle it about. And that will just cure it. So I'm going to pop that under like that. Turn my lamp back on, if I can. 3 little taps. This one goes from 2, 3 and 5 minutes. So now I'm going to use this little one. Oops, I was a bit close. This tiny little one without the bead on it. And I'm going to dip it into the resin like that, so you can see. Just let it drip off just a little bit like that, so we've got the resin on the end. Then I'm going to pop it under the lamp. I'm hoping this isn't going to be blurry on there. Let's take these bits out of the way. Just twist that round. Now I stopped twisting and it's gone a little bit funny, but just twist that round. I'm going to get my resin again, dip it in, take that out of the way, dip that in, let that drip off a little bit. This isn't a quick project, because you can just, you want to take your time on this and just go in and just twiddle your beads around. Do a couple of little layers on there and then let it harden under the lamp. Pop it into something. I've got that little bit of sort of foam on there. So just twiddle it around. Hoping you can see that. Can you see it better with the black underneath? I'm not quite sure whether you can, but just twiddle it like that. I'm going to put this under, pop that in there like that, and then I'm going to get my blue one out like this, and then we're going to build up. Can you see? Pop another little layer on there. Just let that drop off a little bit, and then just twiddle that under, so you can go, either way, just so it cures under there. And then you'll be able to see that there's a colour in the middle, and then you've got it looks like it's got a glass outside shell, if I can talk. So just twiddle that around like that. I'm going to dip it back in again. Like that. Couple of drips so it's not going to be misshapen, and just twiddle that around. like that, just so you get that hard coating on it, and then we can pop it back into here. So I mean, I want it to dribble down, so we're going to take that one and put that one in. Right, this is one that I did previously, and this has got glitter on it, so sort of got like a little bit of pink glitter on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this one, I'm going to dip that in. Do you know what I mean? So you can just carry on making lots of different ones and leave them to harden and go from one to another. So let's just twiddle that round, pop that in there, like that. Okay, I'm going to pop this one into here with my pliers. Now I'm going to go and pick one of these. Now I did want to use, I'm going to go for this one, because you'll be able to see on here, let's just pop that. Can you see you've got the colour on the inside, got that like little bead, and then you've got the glass on the outside, which is just beautiful, isn't it? So what I'm going to do with this one, I'm going to take some of this resin, hold it in my other hand, get a little cocktail stick, and I'm going to take a little bit of the blue and just pop it on, so you've got sort of like a little line of blue. Can you see that? Just a little line like that. I'm going to just pop that under there for a second to cure that, just for a minute, and then we just need to turn my little bead around, just go round this side. Can you see what I'm doing? Is that better without that in there? It's quite difficult to do, sort of up in the air. Just going to put just a little ring of the blue around it. Oopsie daisy. Let's go around this way. Just like that. Can you see I've got like that little ring of blue in there. So let's just turn the light back on again. Hold that under the light. Pop that to the side. You can't really see it because it sort of glows. It's glowing. But I'm going to pop that under there just for a second, and then I'm going to dip it back into the clear resin. Like that. Drip that off. So that's got a little clear coating. Pop it back under the lamp. So you can build up layers so it looks like you've got the blue, a little blue ring going around separately, so it gives it a really good sort of bit of dimension in there. And this is where you can sort of like stick on little beads, or little flat back gems, or pop little bits of glitter in there, and they look like they're floating in the little inside the ball or inside the bead, which I think looks absolutely gorgeous. I know, I think it's, can't really see the bead in there, can you, because it's glowing a bit, but I think these are just fabulous. Right, I'm going to leave this in here. That one's gone a bit misshapen. I think I put a little bit too much resin on there. Let's just stonk that one in there. Let's get a little one out. This one has got green on it. Don't know whether you can see. Oops, forget I'm so close. That's got green in it. So I'm just going to make this one just a little bit bigger. Just pop it in there. Drip that off. Just a tiny coat. You just want a thin coat. The last one I think I did just a little bit too thick. Like this. So each of your beads is going to come out completely different. So they're going to be all beautiful, Really lovely. And these, you can have them tiny, tiny. You can have them big, because some of these are quite big, depending on what you want. I just made a selection because then I know that I can use some for all sorts of projects. So I'm going to dip this in again, like that. Just pop that in. Drop that off. Just twiddle that around, and then we will just pop that under here, like that. Just keep moving it. You want to just keep moving it around, like that. So let's just pop that to the side. Can you see? Oops. Where are we? There we go. Look at that. Can you see that clear outline of it? The outside sort of shell is clear. You've got that lovely shiny pearlescent, because these ones, because they're pearlescent, can you see, sorry, these are little U ones, they're pearlescent, they give that beautiful little bit of shimmer inside. So I'm going to just do one more little coating of this over the top. Then I will leave this one under the lamp for a bit, and then we will go back to the blue one. Let's just dot that off. Just wiggle it around, like that. So pretty. They are just so pretty. And again, you can use mica powders in there. You can use, not sure about alcohol inks. You can mix them with your resin. But these ones, you need something that is ready done. You know, these ones are fabulous. So I suppose you could just mix up your glitters and stuff as well. So I'm going to stick that in here. This is the little blue one that we just did. So let me just get rid of that. There we go, look at that. Just gorgeous, isn't it? Oh, I love them. Right, what I'm going to do, this gets quite hot. So because I've got two, I can just swap them over. I don't want to get it too hot. And then we will turn this one on. Right, I'm going to just pop that back in to our resin. Like that. Pull it around. Just dab that off. Like that, and just twist. Just keep twisting so you get a nice shaped bead. Like that. If you've got a little pen, you could use it like a little pen. Any UV lamp is going to work on here. So just twiddle them around. Look, don't they look lovely? That looks so lovely, doesn't it? Look at that, can you see? Oh, just beautiful. Love a little bit of sparkle. And they are so simple to do. Right, I'm going to just pop this one. I'm going to come back out just a fraction, because now you know what I'm actually doing. Let's just pop that in there like that. Let's start a fresh one. So I've got another one here. I'm going to use up what I've got in this. Pop those over that way a little bit. So let's go in with the pink. We can go in, it doesn't matter what you go in with. Just going to go in with that pink, twiddle it round, hold that on there. Oops, I'm getting caught in my gloves. Just twiddle that around. So any UV resin or epoxy resin, you must wear gloves, have a ventilated area to work in, and also wear a mask. I haven't got a mask on at the moment because I'm talking, but when I've been doing it, when I'm not making a video, I do wear a mask. But right, I'm just going to dip it in some of that blue, then do that again. Turn it back on again. So yeah, so make sure it's ventilated. Although this is low odor or no odor, you still get the fumes coming from it, whether you can smell them or not. So that's just a little bit on the end, like that. So I'm going to just stick that into our little tray. Not a little, can you see these? They just look gorgeous, don't they? So this is just a little bit of foam. You can use Oasis or anything to stick things in. These ones have got little bits of glitter in. You see, they're just lovely, aren't they? So I'm going to take this one out because this is a really nice one actually. Can you see? And I'm going to put a little bit, I'm going to go in with this white. This is the pearlescent white. I'm just going to pop a little bit on here. This is beautiful. It's almost sort of silvery. Like that. And that's what I'll show you one in a minute. I'm going to take the other end of this little cocktail stick and I'm just going to pop little blobs on like that. Can you see? Hopefully you can see. Just some little tiny little blobs on there. Now you have to remember that this is where the little metal pin is. That's the top of your bead. So this is going to be the top that you'll be able to see. Can you see that? There we go. So it's a little bit bumpy. Got these little white bumps on there. So you can just be, you know, do whatever you like on these. Just little dots, I think. Is that enough? Another little one there, like that. Can you see it looks a bit messy, but we're going to pop it under here for a second. Put that over there. Pop this under the lamp. Like that, just for a little bit. Doesn't need to be under there for too long, because again, I would leave these then with them both closed up, probably for a good 5 minutes. Can you see that? So we've got little bubbly bits on. And if you can, you know, the longer the better. So I'm just going to dip that in there. Drop that off. Just a couple of little blobs on there. So it's a nice thin layer on there to hold that. Hold it or stick it on, you know, you just make sort of layers of it up. And then I'm going to do that again. Pop that back in there. Twist it around. Good old dip. A good old dip. Just drop those off. And there we go, pop it underneath. And those little dots then that I put on there will look like they're floating inside, because you'll have another layer of the clear resin. Another 2, 3, maybe 4 layers I'll pop on this one. But I'm going to just put that down on there, just to let those harden properly for a little while. Now I'm going to go back in with our blue one, because I would like a few more, couple more layers of this. Can you see it's gradually, you know, gradually getting a bigger layer of the clear around it. So I'm just going to twiddle that in there, like that, into the resin. Take my pliers, just dop it a couple of times, like that, twiddle it around. Make sure you keep sort of moving it about, like that. Right, I'm going to push that one in there, like that. Now this one, oopsie daisy, I'm going to pop these together a minute. I'm going to leave those in there. I'm going to clip that together. Just move that out of the way. So then you've got the, let me come right out. Then you've got that covering all of them. Let me put that over there. So this one, it's got fabric in it, which is lovely. To get a bit closer. Oh, there we go. So this has got this fabric in there. So I have just wrapped that around the end of this with a little bit of glue. Shall I show you what I did? That's dry. So I took a little bit of this, just a little section. Because it's shiny, it's nice and shiny, I've got some glue. Where's my glue? Just got some tacky glue. I'm going to take one of these. I put a little bit of glue on here, just on your fabric, like that. Pop that on. I don't want to get glue on my gloves. I probably will, won't I? And then I'm just going to twist that around. Can you see? Just so that's glued on there. It's going to stay. Probably not going to stay. Actually, you could probably wrap a little bit of wire around there to keep that on. That would look really nice, wouldn't it? I'm going to chop those little bits off. I'm going to hold that. So again, you can just pop whatever you want onto the end. Just because I'm doing this, it's not going to stick, is it? I'm going to add a little, tiny little bit more glue on there. There we go. Just put that on, like that. Right, we've got little straggly bits on there. Not that it really matters, but I could probably do with a smaller pair of scissors. Can you see? So, oh gosh. So that's just wrapped around. Okay, now I'm going to dip this in the resin before it completely unravels. I'm going to turn that back on, open those out, like this. Take that and just dip it into that clear resin. Like that. Twiddle it around. Just hold that. You only need a little bit on there to start with. It's not going to sit down for me, is it? There we go. Let's hold that down, twiddle it around so you can put any fabrics in here. Should we come in a little bit closer? Can you see that little bit of fabric on there? So that would just twiddle around in the light, like that. What did I do with my other one? There it is. And then again, just dip it into your resin. Try and stay out of the light. It's quite good actually that the resin sort of thickens up just a little bit. Because it sort of like stays on your project a little bit better. Let's just take that little bit off. And I'm going to pop that back under the lamp. Have a little twiddle. Like that. Pop that on. Now this one I'm going to just stick into there, if you can see. Stick that into that bit. And then I'm going to take this one again. Look at that, you can see the fabric, you can see the texture in there, can't you? And then I'm going to come back out just a little bit. I'm going to pop a little bit more resin in here. Don't quite have enough because it's long. It needs to sort of like go in there. Now this one is obviously not round, it's sort of a little bit longer, isn't it? And it's not quite, it's got sort of like a little bit of a lumpy bumpy textury bit on this one, which is fabulous, which I'm loving. So I'm just going to dab that down just a little bit, just so we've got a little layer of that. Take that and go under the lamp. So the inside of this, inside colour bit of your bead, you can just, you know, your imagination, you've got all sorts of beads that you don't even have to just put the bead on and cover it up. Put resin on it, I mean, will look really, really good. So, You don't have to cover it with glitter or mica powders or anything like that, or coloured resin. You could just put whatever you like on the bead, or the bead as it is, and they just look at that. That's just stunning, isn't it? I think they are beautiful. So that will go back in there. Which is the one that I was using to put, I think it was this little one here, wasn't it? That's got the little, we're a little bit wonky on this one, but that's okay. I'm going to take my pliers, I'm going to dip that into there, like that. Nice, good dip. Drop that off. Then I'm going to just twiddle that in the lamp, like so. Then I'm going to take a little bit more of this. Let's push that over there. Or the coloured resin. What should we go for? I'm going to go for the little bit of the white on here. I'm just going to dab that around. Dab it. That's a nice term for it, isn't it? So just add little bits, you know, to this. Let's go around this side. Remembering that this is the top of your bead, like that. So hopefully you can see that. So you just want a little bit on there, like that. Pop that to the side. I'm going to put this under the lamp, like this. So hopefully these will be hard enough for me. Shall I show you how to do this one in a second? I'll show you how I made this, because that's really quite simple as well. Right, I'm going to dip this into the resin, like that. Twiddle that about. Lots of twiddling. We are doing lots of twiddling in this one. And then I'm going to leave that, and then we can just, oops, it was moving. It was moving. I don't want that. I'm going to just put that, I'm going to dip it again actually, because I think then that will probably be enough. Then we will leave this to cure nicely. Dot that a few times. There we go. Round. Oh, I love them. I do love them. Right, let's just take this, stick that in there. Right, this one I'm going to just show you. Let's pop those to the side. So this is the one with the little pink bit in the middle, but I'm going to just show you. I'm going to cut this little end bit off because we didn't need that little flat end. Oh, clip that over there. Now I'm taking my pliers. These are my loop pliers. These are 1.5mm. I'm going to poke that through the hole like that, and then I'm going to make a little loop this end like that. Turn that round. Let's turn that back on again. So we've got a loop one end, and then I'm going to take this, pop that through there, and then I'm going to loop that end there like that. So then that can go in between two. You can have a little jump ring on there and then another little bead hanging off, which would look really, really nice, wouldn't it? Actually, I'm going to open that up. I'm going to take one of my tiny little beads. Not that it's easier to do with my big gloves on. I'll take these. Oops. Just want to show you what they look like because they're just so yummy. you can make some beautiful earrings. If you make earrings, you can make some stunning earrings. Look at that. And then, oh, I just love my dingly danglies. This is why I want to make the little tiny ones. Is nothing. Doesn't take any time at all. But I'm going to just show you how to make this. I don't know what shape you call that, but I'm going to pop that in my pot now. I'm going to take one of these, like this, and I'm going to take a bead. Now we're going to go for, I've got a pink one, so let's go for a blue. I'm just going to pop the blue. Not that you would really see it, because I'm going to cover it up with blue anyway. And I'm going to dip this just into that white, like that. So put that in. So that just holds that in place for a minute. So we're actually working with the middle of this. Now we can't cut the ends off or dop it on, because I want to make 2 loops either end. So this is the easiest way that I found to do it. So let's just make sure that's on there properly. I'm going to add a little bit more. Where's my blue? There's my blue. A little bit more blue on there. Oopsie daisy. I'm going to take my little bead. Shall I come in fractions just so that you can see what I'm doing? I'm going to take my bead and I'm going to just roll that in without trying to get it everywhere else. So I'm just going to cover that bead like that. So we're all covered. Twiddle it, twiddle it, twiddle it, twiddle it, and then pop that under your light, like so, just to harden a little bit. Move that out of the way. I'm going to take a little cocktail stick and I want to just, you see, pop it on the top here, just so we don't see that little opening, the little hole there. Okay, I'm going to hold that, hold that under the lamp just to dry that off. Cure that just a little bit. I'm going to turn it up this way. Let's hold it from the bottom. And then I'm going to cover this little hole there. Like that. So if you're going to put blue, it's probably better to have a blue bead underneath so you can, you don't have to cover up completely. But I just wanted those little holes. Can you see that's covered and that one's covered pretty much. So that can go under here. Like that. Just cure that off. And then what we're going to do, we're just going to go over this with the clear resin. Now let me just pop that into my little pot, into my little thing. I'm going to come out just a fraction because I need to, I'm going to keep the blue, but I'm just going to wipe that off. Like that, because I need to tip some clear resin on here now. Because this is the easiest way I found to do it. So let's just tip a little bit of clear onto here as well. Take this one and then, oops, we don't want it rolling down the side. Just roll this in that and just twiddle it. And there we go. Just like that. Just so that hardens. Should we come this way a little bit? Right, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to swap over these because these get a little bit hot, and because I've got it on constantly, I don't want them to overheat. So let's just do that again. Look, I should have kept that under there for a little bit longer. That's okay. Right, I'm going to just twiddle that in the clear again, like that. Hold that and twiddle it around. So color combinations. I'm doing some pretty pinks and blues and things like that because that's the colors that I use. But again, if you want to do nice autumn colors, you obviously do browns and reds and orange, which would look lovely. Like I said, these would make stunning earrings, wouldn't they? So I'm just going to do that. So I'm going to just dip that. Now, this one doesn't look like it's going to be as flat and round as the other ones, does it? So each one is going to be different, but I might add a little bit on with my cocktail stick actually. So sort of like dipping this in. So we just have a little twiddle, take this, take our little cocktail stick and just dab this on. Just maybe I can just build that up by doing that. Twiddle it round like this. So yeah, you can experiment with all sorts of things. Like I did that one with the butterfly in it. It's not the best. I shouldn't have used pink really, but you can still see the butterfly in there. It's a bit bubbly, but I kind of like the bubbles in the beads. I think they look really nice. They look more like glass, I think, then. I'm just going to pop this around like that. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. Twiddle, twiddle. Like that. Well, I'm going to pop this one down in a minute because I'm going to leave that to sort of like cure just a little bit more. So, because I don't want to keep putting layers and layers on because it needs to cure underneath. Like that. So let's just pop that in there like that. I'm going to take out our little fabric one. And then I'm going to put another layer of this on here. So you can, you know, do lots of different ones at the same time. Double off that excess resin. And then just, again, have a little twiddle. And by having this screen here, it means that you're blocking off the light from your resin, so your resin isn't going to harden. And these are so simple to do. No molds, no anything. So if you're starting out with UV resin, you don't even need any molds to do any of this. Right, I'm going to take my pliers and just pop that into there. Like that. So let's have a look. Did I do a white one? I don't think I did. This one's got the white in the middle. So this is just beautiful. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger. So let's just put that in there. Like that. And then some of these will be ready to make into little beads. So let's just, you know, go around. Twiddle it around, lots of twiddling, twiddle twiddles. There we go. I'll tell you what, if you start doing this, it's pretty addictive because you want to just keep making it more and more and experimenting on what you would like inside them. So let's just put that down. And if you've got a really nice sort of like funky bead that you wanted to use, and you wanted to keep, Josh, I mean, you could just put that inside and coat it in resin. So I'm going to do this one again. So I'm just going to pop that around. I'm going to just do a little bit at a time. So I'm going to pop that in there, put that around to that side, like that. Just harden that. And then I'm going to do this side. Like that. Just build it up. Oops. Just build it up slowly. A little bit more. Actually, I quite like the thought of having wire on them. I think I might get a little bit of wire out in a minute. I'll put some wire around my fabric one. We'll make another fabric one. See, this is pretty addictive, isn't it? Because as I'm here making these, I'm thinking of all sorts of different ways that we could use them, or what we can put inside and how we can use them. I use dingly danglies and beads all the time, so I'm not worried about making too many because they will always get used. So I'm going to just, again, build this up. Spread all that round. There we go. Oh, I'm loving this. So I mean, just take your time doing these things, because it's sort of like all part of it. You don't want to rush and make a bead and then you're done. You want to enjoy your making. Oh, I love that. Actually, blue and gold would look nice. Did have like a little hint of gold in there then. And that must have been a reflection of something. Oh, look at that. Doesn't that just look beautiful? I'm going to leave that one. I'm going to go back to this one. This is the little blue and pink one that I did. Well, let's just use up this bit of resin. Actually, there's not enough on there. Let's dip that in. So I wonder if my silver or gold pens would work on here. I bet they would. Drop that in. So guys, if you are in my Facebook group and you make some of these, I would love to see them. I really, really would. And all as you could use a little bit of wire, just make a little bend in the bottom, just a tiny little loop if you didn't have these flathead pins. Pop on a bead or just dip it in some resin, a little bit of coloured resin. So you need your wire, you need your resin, you need a light, maybe some beads, a little bit of fabric. You don't have to have the coloured resin, you could just have normal resin, just the clear. But yes, such an easy little project to do. And no moulds, that's the main thing. You don't need a mould. There we go. And if you wanted it to be longer, okay, so this is going round, but if you wanted it to be longer, if you dip that in, take a little bit off, and then just hold it down like that, that drip will come to the top, do you know what I mean? And then you'll have a longer sort of bead. Let's just twiddle that round. Can you see? You've got a little bit on the end then. For this one, look, you can see the flat end of the, I didn't quite cover that up. Oops, it was a bit close. You can see the bottom of the bead, which I don't like that. I'm going to have to cover that up. So what should we do? We could probably just run that then through the blue. So we have a bigger blue bead. Let's take a little bit. Yeah, I don't like seeing the end of the silvery bit. I'm going to just take that and cover that up. Oh, these are fabulous. I love them. Right, I'm going to go in. Don't know whether that's going to be quite enough. I think I need to just put a little bit more on there. Let's open this up if I can. Pop on a tiny bit more. Dip that in there. Twiddle twiddle it about. There we go. Now, obviously we've got a bigger inside on this one, but you can't see. Oops, that's a bit close, isn't it? Can't really, you can just a little bit. I think that might have been the light. You can just, I don't like looking at that bit. Let's see if we can cover that up a little bit more. Not that it's going to notice, not that you're going to really see it. Once, because it's beads, it'll be hanging down, so you won't really see it. There we go. Fabulous. Right, I'm going to just pop this into some clear. Like that. And then I will just twiddle this one, and then obviously we're gonna, you know where I'm going on this one now, don't you? So I'll just pop this one on here. Let's just keep twiddling, like that. And then I'll do another video where I make my dingly danglies with all of these that we made. So let's pop this one down in there like that. Fabulous. Right, this one I'm going to put a little bit of clear on this one because we didn't put any on this one, and then we will have a tiny little bead. That's what I mean, you only have to do it like that. You only have to do it, you know, dip it in 2 or 3 times and then you're done. Which I'll probably do, I'll do it on the smaller ones, these little ones. The bigger ones are easier for you to see what I'm doing. I'm just going to do that, and then I think some of those might be ready for me to just pop some little loops in. There we go. Just like that. Fabulous. Take that just so that I can, oh my gosh. There we go. Take that. Pop that in there. Now I'm going to take this one out because this is one we did. Look at that. It's just lovely. And then all I'm going to do, I'm going to pop those to the side. Actually, I'm going to stick those together like that, just so that they cure really well. And I'm going to take my little loop, pliers, pop that through. Oops, pop it in there properly. And then make a little loop on there, and then we have our beautiful little bead. Oh look, I'm covered in resin, that's a surprise. And look at that, just beautiful. I'm going to pop him in the pot, and then I'm just going to show you, because I think I probably had lots of playtime there, show you these again because they are just beautiful. Look at that, aren't they lovely? You can make your lovely unique beads with no mold. Look at that one we made. I think I'm going to have to make some more of these little ones. Look at that, that's fabulous. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you're going to give it a go. There we are, some beautiful beads. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Please take care, stay safe, and I will see you soon. All right, guys, bye-bye.